Ready?
Good.
We have got Lionel live. We're going to be talking about ex-prosecutor dissects the allegations against Russell Brand. It's been a huge story this week, all over the news here in the UK. Just more and more developments every single day. The latest developments today, before I hand it over to Lionel, Russell Brand assault trial evidence could come from lengthy Arthur, as in the movie, outtakes footage. So in 2023, Brand was sued by an unnamed extra, Jane Doe, accused him of exposing himself to cast members before SAing her in a bathroom on the set. Brand and Warner Brothers are both named as defendants. Both parties are denying the allegations. And as far as I'm aware, that is the most of the recent of the allegations. So Warner Brothers' lawyer is offered to submit outtakes of Brand in the film as part of evidence. He said the studio has had some hours of video outtake footage, 4 or 5 hours, or possibly up to 8. Let me just look if anything else has come out in the last few hours. Russell Brand now fears U.S. prosecution. That's in The Independent. And Hallow has now cut ties with Russell Brand. That's the Hallow app that he was promoting. Russell Brand will speak at Florida College despite these charges. That's just come out 1 hour ago. New college doubles down on decision to host Russell Brand. And on and on and on it goes. It's one of the most talked about stories in the world right now. So Lionel, when this broke, and huge thank you for coming on, my friend. What were your thoughts when you saw this one?
Why so long? I'm so tired of this. I'm sorry. 26 years, 20 years. I'm tired of this. I don't understand this. How come when you're a nobody ever thinks about this? You're not important. You know, most of the cases that I have been involved with or have seen either women or people charged or accusing others of SA didn't care who you were, didn't care anything. I want justice now. Now, for all we know, these victims could have gone repeatedly to various authorities. Remember, civil and criminal. I'm going to assume I'm not an expert in your legal system at all, but civil, person versus person. I'm suing Shaun Attwood. I want money from you. I want an injunction. I want you. It's you versus me. Criminal, the state, the government against somebody. Okay? Now, let me tell one thing. First of all, I'm going to be jumping all over the place as a defense lawyer, prosecutor, legal, media maven. Russell, shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. My lawyers have advised me not to speak, and I want everybody to listen to me. The greatest bit of negotiating you can ever do, whether you're asking somebody for a raise or you want extra barbecue sauce in your takeaway, you say whatever it is. I want more. I want a raise. I can't talk. And you can understand that, right? And people will say, yes. They will say this reflexively. And you can understand that, right, Shaun? Oh, yes. I can't comment on this. I can't. You can understand that. Of course. And you move on. Shut up. He thinks he's glib. He thinks he's brilliant. He thinks he can just, and he says, and I'm not going to do his accent, but basically, well, you know, oh, there he is. This stupidity. This is like, shut up. Let
me play this for you.
Oh,
Lionel.
please. Oh, God.
And we'll get your thoughts. It's only a minute or so long. All right, so let me make it big.
For those of you. Hello. Firstly, thank you for these incredible and overwhelming messages of support. We're very fortunate in a way to live in a time where there's so little trust in the British government. We're very fortunate, I suppose, that this is happening at a time where we know that the law has become a kind of weapon to be used against people, institutions, and sometimes entire nations that will not accept and tolerate levels of corruption that are unprecedented. I'm speaking particularly to those of you that are watching this in the UK. How do you feel about your legal system right now? How do you feel about some of the high-profile cases that are not being pursued and prosecuted? How do you feel that the Southport murders were handled? How do you feel about the government of Keir Starmer? Now, that's just sort of general context. Me, I've always told you guys that when I was young and single, before I had my wife and family, who were just about a shot over there, my beautiful children, I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes. I want to thank all of you for your continuing support. I want to let you know that our show will be on Rumble on Monday. Thanks for your support there. And of course.
So as an ex-prosecutor, how could that be used against him?
Well, first, he's acknowledging, number one, he's basically saying, yeah, that's me. So listen, whether you think I'm crazy or not, I'm going to say to him, you just gave up any AI defense. I know you're going to laugh, Shaun. I know you're going to laugh at me. But if somebody would have said, maybe whatever. Well, you just took care of it. You're basically saying, well, I was crazy then. Oh, you mean when you did this? Well, yeah. Oh, so it was you. So you were on this set. So you were crazy and you were drunk. So do you remember it? Now, believe it or not, memory is another one too. His defenses could be, I was so drunk I didn't know what I was doing. So let me just say something. I want everybody to listen to me. And again, I'm not giving you advice as a lawyer. Shut up. We have in our country the Fifth Amendment. You have the right to remain silent. Shut up. Non-speech is not admissible as usually or as guilt. You've got the burden of proof. Attwood, you've got the burden of proof. UK, you do. If you say I did this, bring it on. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to acknowledge anything. This is for everybody. This is not. If somebody came to me right now and said, I want to talk to you about the Kennedy assassination. I was 5 years old then. I'm not going to talk to you about that either. Because invariably, here's the other thing. When you start talking, you come in on day one, and then you come in on day two. And invariably, your testimony will be different. And you're not trying to lie. But 2 instances of inconsistent statements under oath can be construed as perjury. So don't talk. You're creating, sometimes prosecutors will get people to come in there and say, start talking. See, because he thinks he's glib. He thinks now, probably speaking, deep down inside, if you ask me, what do I really think? I don't know. No, seriously, nobody around here. What do you think? What do you really think? If you told me that this guy was alleged to have had his way with a marmoset, I would say, I probably believe it because he's a nut. He's a degenerate. But I mean, this is just me and you talking to a guy. Now, if somebody said about you, I'd say, absolutely. No, I'm kidding. You know what I mean? He's so unsavory. So he comes across anything. People would say, Keir Starmer, he's a lot of things. That's always a very good thing, Shaun. When somebody says, Shaun Attwood, he's a lot of things, but a fraudagist, he's not, okay. So right off the bat, people think he's a freak. He acts one, and all of a sudden, and you found Jesus, and he gets on his knee. And listen, I'm not going to ask somebody or to have them provide bona fides of their particular faith, but come on, would you stop it? It's so perfect. It's the new me. All right, fine. I don't believe any of this crap. I don't believe anybody. You don't understand this. But this is just me talking. Look, I've been around. I've known every freak. And you too. I don't believe people. People lie. People make up, especially when you're Russell Brand and you think you're so smart. That being said, you've got to prove this. You're talking about some extremely serious stuff. And we're talking about people who are 16 years old, might be a minor, but consensual. Did you see Megyn Kelly? Did you see her reaction? Oh, Megyn Kelly is like, Megyn, sit down. I don't care what you're going to tell you. You're 16 years old. I'm going to unsubscribe from you. I say, oh, no. Everybody in the business is trying to act so, look, it's wrong, but it's like, don't give me this false piety where you're so shocked by everything. You've been in show business. Are you kidding me? First of all, don't BS me. Just don't lie to me. I've seen stuff that it's just, this is nothing. Do you want to go? Megyn Kelly won't be able to sleep if I told you about Charlie Chaplin. Oh my God. Or Judy Garland, or what they did with Clara Bow. I can tell you stuff. Believe me, what he is alleged to have done is child's play. Okay, that notwithstanding. Question number 1. 26 years ago, was it 1999? Where were you? Juror number 1, where were you? 26 years ago. Let me see. I was 26 years ago. Who was president? I would start off in my closing argument. I would have who was the president? Who won the World Cup? Maybe there's something in the UK, something that people remember. Keir Starmer was born. Whatever. This is what happened then. 26 years ago. Year number 1, nothing happened. Now listen, they say, well, he wasn't that big of a star. He's in a movie. You can always sue the studio. You can sue a lot of other people. You can be doing a lot of things. So he was not really nothing. He wasn't really nothing. Because let's face it, you and I know, too. I know you, Attwood. You know this. I don't give a damn about the person. I want to sue the studio. I want to sue the limo company that brought the guy to the studio. I want to sue the lighting director who provided the light that was used to film. You sue everybody. Respondeat superior. This is the legal maxim that says that the big shot axe takes the heat. If you're hit by a Coca-Cola truck, oh, you're sitting pretty. You're not going to sue the driver. You want to sue Coca-Cola because they benefited from. So what I'm saying is, so when people say, well, it wasn't till now, he was big then. These were on movie sets. Nobody brought this up then. It would have been even easier. Okay, well, just give it. Was there a lawsuit? Was. Now, I also have to stop and say, I do not believe that we should chide or ridicule or in any way criticize somebody for not bringing a case soon enough. But 26 years, now you want to bring it? Now it's important? Tell me, what happened? That goes to the motivation. Have you ever noticed, I don't know what you talk about essay and children. Do you know how many times that happens right around the time of divorce? Any fathers out there? Lo and behold, right around the time custody and money, guess what happens? So you don't think the propinquity, the temporal connection of that is important? That's number 1. And that's the first thing any juror, again, I'm assuming a juror might say, no, it doesn't eliminate it. It doesn't eliminate it, but it makes you say, that's a very interesting thing. I did not know that. You don't think, for example, the timing, like right before Attwood insures his huge recording studio for millions of dollars, shortly thereafter, that's when the arson takes place. You don't think that I mean, seriously, does this not make any sense? If you don't think the timing means anything, that's another story. Now, they have to also provide information, again, assuming that the legal systems are the same. If I say, give me any outtakes you have, you want to prevent the charges of spoliation, where you allege that they had information, they had documents, they had recordings. It's like when you sue a TV company or somebody, they say save all recordings and all emails, and okay. because I'm going to need them to sue you, you know, that kind of, so you have to keep them. So again, you're going to have this, you're going to have, you want to see the video? Go ahead. But in the meantime, why is he saying anything? Just let it go. I think you all can appreciate the fact that my lawyers have advised me not to comment. Thank you. Now let's talk about Jesus. Praise God and do whatever you want to do. You will never be able to explain this away. And already he started, Keir Starmer, the system. First thing I'm going to do if I'm the prosecutor, I'm going to say, let's roll that tape. Let's say we've got some outtakes of Arthur. Really bad stuff. So Keir Starmer has something. Did Keir Starmer do that? Is that you? Is that when you were doing the terrible thing? Is that, who is this? Maggie Thatcher? Hell, bring her up too. You see what he's doing? He's blaming people. We haven't even seen it yet. Just keep your mouth shut. Just keep your mouth shut. Now, I'm going to say something which is the absolute, well, it's kind of a reality, but nobody wants to think it's a reality. I want somebody to say, ladies and gentlemen, you have been lucky enough to sit on a jury today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the way it works. This is my client, Russell Brand. Russell Brand, in his annual monies that he has to have security. Why? Because of the women that throw themselves at him. Do you know how many? Do you know what his life is like? Do you have any idea? Let me call his limo driver. Give people an idea of what it's like when you're Russell Brand. And imagine with Mick Jagger, you can't get near, but you can't imagine. Okay? They throw themselves. If Russell Brand were charged with every woman he has ever had his way with, you would need Wembley Stadium for the court. No, I'm serious. You have to let people know. This is not a usual. No, I'm serious. And I know you're laughing, you sick son of a, just kidding. I love you. But you have to understand this. They have to understand how this thing works. Now, you can also say this. At the time of this, my client, Mr. Brand, was out of his mind. He was drunk, gassed, gooned, waxed, under the influence, non-compos mentis. He was an inebriate, a sot, a crapulous dipsomaniac of the first order. He didn't remember weeks at a time. He'll tell you right now, there are people who said, was I in a movie? Yeah, I don't even remember the movie because I'm out of my mind. Now, does that get him off the hook? It might. It might. And the reason why is, again, there are some offenses that, again, I know I'm not familiar with British law, but in our law, we have crimes that involve the specific intent. Burglary is a specific intent crime. Murder is a specific intent crime, but assault is not. Trespass is not. What does that mean? In order for me to do something, depending upon the crime, I have to be able to formulate the specific intent to do something over and above just the act. If anything involves or impairs my ability to formulate a specific intent, namely being crazy, being insane, being drunk, being high, anything, that is a defense. So one of the things he's going to say is, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, is that a defense? No. But there's something about juries saying, we just found a guy liable or guilty. He doesn't remember anything. None at all. Might as well have been sleepwalking. He's out of his mind. In a world where it is debauchery, it is Sodom and Gomorrah every day, he had to hire a security guard. Then, I don't want to do this, but let's assume, Shaun, for the sake of argument, arguendo, as opposed to innuendo, which is an Italian suppository, but let's assume somebody comes forward and says, oh, yeah, I remember her. Yeah, the 16-year-old. 16 going on 40. Yeah, we knew her. She was there all the time. We had problems with her. I'm not saying this happened. Please, I'm not saying this. But what if a jury thinks, oh my God, this is this sick world. He doesn't remember where he is. And this one, let me make. Now, we have something called the R, can't use that word, the R shield laws, where you can't put a woman on the stand and say, what were you wearing? Why were you wearing that? You asked for it, didn't you? No, you can't do that. But if you are deliberately, if you told their friends, remember the story allegedly of Elon Musk's new baby mama, who allegedly, imputedly said, I'm going to get me whatever. Okay. Well, she may have gotten her way. You don't think that evidence is relevant? You don't think that shows the formulation of a kind of a pattern? 16, 15, 46 or not? You don't think predatory? And if somebody said, oh my God, this would, in fact, she's on the list. Let's assume, again, I'm not saying this, but what if there was a woman that says she's not allowed near any sound